Shout out to Kop-Ish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
Keep all the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that guy. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kop-Ish.
Hello, lovely people. If you're just joining us from our last show, or hello if you're joining us for this show, hope you're well. Welcome to another Monday night live show where we've got some very, very interesting topics to speak about. Drift, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm very interested to talk about a couple of these old topics, especially a certain Michael Owen spreading rumors. You know,
your guy, bro. Your
guy. Yeah.
So we're going to be speaking about the squad, which seems to be fully fit again. We're going to be speaking about that Michael Owen rumor that came out today. Going to be speaking about our front three as well, and I'll extend it to Jota as well. But just going off the back of the weekend's game, I think will be a very interesting conversation. Obviously, we'll speak about the title race and the Fantasy Premier League. Big up Coutinho, by the way, my captain. Callum Shameless.
Real talk.
It is what it is. It is what it is. But we're going to start with the squad drift. In fact, no, we're not going to start with the squad. We're going to start with our sponsors. That's who we're going to start with. FansBet, guys. So, obviously, as always, you know we've got a game tomorrow night where you'll be getting some fantastic offers. Drifty is slowly but surely becoming a millionaire based off the betting results he's getting off FansBet. Not only has he got the predictions, but he's got great odds as well. So make sure you do the same. You've got a fantastic welcome offer if you're new to FansBet, guys. So if you bet £10, you get £30 worth of bets for free, plus 10 free spins on registration. So all you have to do is click the link in the YouTube description, and that will get you over there as well. Must visit begambleaware.org if you have any sort of questions regarding gambling or betting, and you must be over 18 to join. So make sure you go over to FansBet, register, and become a millionaire like Drifty's on the road to becoming. So, fully fit squad drift. I mean, this time last week, we were speaking about Thiago. We heard Matip was ill. Firmino, they're all back in training now. Jota's back in training. How you feeling?
Yeah, back in training. Allegedly. Bro, I'm not going to get happy about people being fit, because we did that last time and then a couple of people started to drop out. But it's encouraging, isn't it? It's encouraging. I think we've got to be honest and realize that we have some players in the squad that are injury prone, and then if a player who's not injury prone gets injured, while some of them are, it just adds a little bit of something to it. But it's good to hear Firmino's back, and it's good to see that Thiago's back, obviously. And I wouldn't risk any of them for the Inter game, as we spoke about in the preview we just did. Make sure you check that out afterwards if you didn't see the preview for the Inter game, guys. But I would try and integrate them as slowly as possible in, the next Premier League game. And it's just adding to the options. And we all know that Thiago, changes the way we play as well. So as long as we get him back up to speed, we keep getting the wins, God's willing. And then when we play Man City, he's definitely going to be very important to making sure we get a result with the Etihad.
Indeed. And do you know what, Drift? You've kind of taken a question that I wanted to ask. So it's a little while now until we play City. There are some games in between now and then. Would you bubble wrap Thiago between now and then to make sure he's available for that game? When I say bubble wrap, I'm not talking about never play him in a minute between now and then. But
I know. But I was just going to say, bro, how do you bubble wrap him? He's getting injured in warm-ups now, bro. So I don't even know how we bubble wrap him, bro.
If you get injured in a warm-up, the likelihood is you kind of went into the game with something, or went into the day with something, which you, in theory, should have let the medical team know about.
Yeah, possibly. Or you just went way too ham in the warm-up.
Yeah.
Before you were warm. Like, sometimes someone just passes you the ball and you just do a bicycle kick randomly and you ain't even stretched yet. I hope it weren't nothing stupid like that.
The thing is, you can see him doing something like that because he's that type of guy, isn't it?
Yeah. Like, one of the other like jokey people in the squad, like Flacco or something, would be like, "Yo, Thiago, catch this" or something, and like hit some long ball, and then he tries to do something. You know what I mean?
Speaking of Flacco, just on a really quick side note, you know the Panenka he did in the final for the penalty shootout?
Yeah, it was from training.
No, bro. Diaz dared him to do it.
Yeah, in training. Yeah, that's like no, not even dared him, but apparently, because he was packing them all in the training, he did one, and it went in, and then Diaz was like, "Yeah, do that tomorrow." It's like, "Don't dare me." It's like, "Yeah, do it tomorrow." It's like, "All right." So, what?
That's mad. Do you know the word I'm gonna use, cojones, bro? That takes cojones. I bet you any money Klopp weren't in on that joke though, because Klopp wouldn't have had
that. No. I think he said when the shootout happened, Diaz looked at him, and that was what reminded him that he said he would do it. And then apparently during the walk up, he went, "Yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna do it." So when he was in the huddle, he was still thinking, "I'm just gonna pack this like a normal penalty." And on the walk up, he went, "Yeah, fuck it, I said I'm gonna do it, so I'm gonna do it." That is crazy, bruv. I'm sorry. Please leave the dares out of a quadruple attempt. Please leave the dares out of a quadruple attempt. None of that. None of that. Come on, man. Just put that down and lace it in the corner, man.
But you know what? Again, on the flip side, him doing the early in a shootout, it stops the others doing it because no one's gonna do it on the other team if you've already done one. They're just not gonna do it, innit? I rate it.
Yeah.
I rate it.
I don't know if anybody went down the middle from their team. I don't think anybody did.
One person went down the middle from ours. After that. I can't remember who it was, but one person went down the middle. Yeah, but he smashed it down the middle. He didn't. Panenka. But so yeah, Thiago between now and then. Obviously, we want to win as many games.
Yeah. I think we got Arsenal, Brighton, and
we've got Brighton this week. I'll read out the fixtures we've got coming up.
Yeah. In between now and City.
So we've got Brighton. We've got Inter first, but I don't think you'll play in that game. We've got Brighton. We've got Arsenal. The Man U game's been postponed, but that's because we've got an FA Cup game on Sunday. And then we've got Watford, and then we've got an 8-day break, barring any other fixtures that may come up between now and then. And then we've got Man City. Although I believe between the 2nd and the 10th, when we play Man City, I think there'll be a Champions League game in there.
If we get through.
When?
I tell you what, bro, yeah. I think the weekend showed me, and please nobody come at me with all this. You're being negative. I'm just being real and I'm just being honest. The weekend showed me that as much as they're not impervious and all that kind of stuff, thinking we're going to finish above City at this stage of the season is a bit over the top for me. I have no issue with people being positive and being optimistic. That's completely fine. That's actually a great trait to have in life. But all of this quadruple talk, let's make sure it was banter and let's chill for a little bit, guys, because the way Man City are playing, there ain't even a guarantee we'll beat them. They have a 3-point lead over us, and we need to remain perfect in order to keep it going as well. I just feel like the league has to honestly be a game by game. And for me, I don't think that means you can really think about Man City when it comes to Thiago, if I'm being honest. I think you just try and play him wherever and when you can. Make sure he's fit. Don't play him if he's not. And then just hope he is available for the City game. Because if you think 5 games ahead, he might be out of match practice by the time we even get there. Do you get what I mean? If you try and only give him 10 minutes here and 20 minutes there for a 5-game period, he might not even be match fit by the time we play them, and he'll be out of rhythm and all that. It's a tough one, isn't it, bro? It's a tough one. I'm not talking about anything other than the next game. I'm really not. I think we're really lucky we've got a trophy in the cabinet, meaning the season is already to a degree a success to some degree because we've got some silverware. And obviously we want to make sure we add 1 or 2 more at least. But I just want to take one game at a time. I just do, bro. I'm not doing all of this. we're gonna win this, we're gonna win that, we're gonna win this, we're gonna win that. Look, I'm just gonna take one game at a time.
I rate that. You already know how my things sell, bro.
Yeah, I know.
I rate it though. I rate it. One thing I will say, and I hope this doesn't come across like I'm downplaying what Man City did to United yesterday. But we've walked over United and we did it away from home. We did it early in the season when they had the bit between their teeth as well. So even though I rate what City did, I also can look back at games against Brentford. I can also look back at games against Everton. I can look back at games against Arsenal, for example, where they were extremely lucky to come away with points in those games. And that to me suggests that we don't need to be perfect, because I don't think City will be perfect, but I think we need to match or better them from now to the end of the season. And I'll be honest, I don't even think the game at the Etihad determines who wins the league, personally. I think it will go a long way to giving an answer, maybe. But I think there's so many games after that. I don't think it's as cut as dry and saying if we win or they win, then the league's over for either one of the other teams. I genuinely believe there will be points dropped for both teams between now and the end of the season. We just have to make sure if they drop points, we can capitalize. And if we drop points, then they don't capitalize. But I still have City as my favorites, but not by much. Champions League, they're both up for grabs, obviously. I'm confident in our team, man. I'm not saying you're not. I just think we display it different.
I'm always confident to a degree, but yeah.
Feels like I do this every show. It's not my birthday. I'm definitely not 50 years old. God willing, I make it to 50, but I'm not there yet. Still got quite a few years to get under my belt to get there. But bless you. Whoever you're saying happy birthday to, big up to that person. But yeah, so Griff, what are you gonna say?
Yeah, there's just one other thing I thought I'd wait until today to touch on. So this is probably the best opportunity. Is we are getting away with quite a lot of poor finishing from the opposition in the way we're playing. And I know we're quite measured in how we do it, and the proof is in the pudding that it can work, and it does work quite a lot. But I think the West Ham game is a prime example of when it doesn't work, and you're just really glad the opposition didn't take the chance. I know sometimes you can put it down to good defending, covering defending, Alisson being imposing, etc., etc. But I gotta be honest with you, bro. There's a few teams in the world that just fuck you if you give them that opportunity, and Man City are one of them. So going into the Man City game, if we think we can present them with 5 or 6 clear chances during the game, we will be buried. And that is another thing that slightly worries me with the way we're playing is Inter Milan and the West Hams and these type of teams, they're being a bit wasteful. Burnley were wasteful. Do you get what I mean? So I think we have to kind of try and find a way to change that a little bit as well. I think we do. It's getting a little bit too sketchy for me. They're giving people all these chances during games. Like when I watch back the West Ham game, I'm not going to lie. Both Lanzini and Antonio should have put West Ham 2-1 up. Like they are that type of opportunities that if anyone in our team misses, we're absolutely losing our mind over it.
Antonio, I wouldn't say. Antonio,
yeah, bro. Don't you remember the one when Van Dijk headed it backwards by accident, and Antonio was just clean in, and he instead of shooting, he cut back inside, and Trent managed to get a block. Then Naby got the tackle in. Do you not remember? But like he should have scored, bro. If that's the other way around, we're really angry at our forward for not at least hitting the target with the shot.
For me, it's more the Fornals one and the Lanzini one. So
I forgot about the Fornal one. Yeah, bro. So that's free, bro.
I hear what you're saying, Drift. I get you, but we also had our chance in that game where we could have put the game to bed a lot earlier as well. Plus, again, this is what we probably do as fans of our own team. We might overanalyze rather than looking at others. Bro, on paper, it's going to say Chelsea beat Burnley 4-0, which they did. But bro, if you watch the game back and the highlights, Burnley could have been 3-0 up before Chelsea even got their first goal.
I watched the first half. Burnley were very good. 4-0, absolutely flat Chelsea in that game.
Again, Man City, Man United. Bruno Fernandes, in my opinion, plays the ball earlier to Jadon Sancho. We could have a 2-2 situation or 2-1 it might have been at the time. So,
well, Bruno should have shot, to be fair.
Well, either one. Our game against West Ham, I get what you're saying, but also, for me, it happens in every game. Watford lost against Arsenal. Watford, if they're better there, then they get a couple more goals as well. I think that's just the levels in teams, bro, if I'm going to be honest. I don't think you can go through a whole game, or rarely can you, without conceding any chances. It's like boxing, bro. Floyd's a phenomenal boxer. He's fantastic defensively. But he still gets hit. Every fight he gets hit. It's impossible not to.
I agree, but I don't like that we're tempting fate almost, if you get what I mean. Like, I feel bro. Not the way we do. I feel like I think the way we do it has an arrogantness about it that worries me a little bit, because if the midfield and the forwards don't press and make sure the balls can't be played over the top, then we're like Johnson played that ball to Farnell so easily yesterday, and we're almost giving teams the freedom to play the pass because we're not pressing the way we used to. And it's hard to keep on pressing the way we used to. That, like, you physically can't do it year in, year out. I think Leeds showed that you've got to be able to change, because you just can't do it. A squad just can't cope with constantly playing that high intensity. But both teams get in behind us too often. And I know you're saying we had chances, and that is true, but we've always been a bit wasteful. So we'll continue to be wasteful. So we can't change or act like that will change, because it probably won't. We'll just always be a team that gets 10 chances and maybe only scores 2 or 3 of them. But with the opposition, better opposition score the chances that we're letting teams have. And that's what worries me. Even on another day, Antonio buries that. He is quite a clinical striker. On another, Lanzini is very good. On another day, he doesn't blast that over the bar. He puts it in. And then we're sitting there asking, how the hell was he given so much time and space to even do that? The West Ham game at their ground, bro, that's what they did. They exploited the high line. They scored 3 goals. There's some poor goalkeeping in there as well, but it was still the high line. I'm still not comfortable with a high line. I can't lie, bro. I'm not.
All right, so on that then, Drift. So if Trent plays the pass that Ben Johnson plays, we glorify what Trent does as opposed to criticizing the defense. Sometimes, is it not a case of you just have to applaud what the attacking team's doing rather than constantly say we have to be perfect? Because it's impossible for us to be perfect. Trent plays the pass through to Salah in the first couple of minutes of the game, and we should be 1-0 up. But no one's turning around and saying, wow, West Ham were poor defensively there. Sometimes it's just the ball or the pass or the player who makes something happen. Do we not just have to appreciate that and say sometimes that's one of the things that happens in football?
To a degree, you're right. But it's deja vu, though, bro. I think it's very easy and obvious what to do against us, because everybody does the same thing. But it's not inventive. It is the same thing every time, bro. We're too obvious. We're just too obvious to play against, bro.
But if the high line was such a problem, we wouldn't catch people out offside as many times as we do, though, Drift. And it is part of the game, because if I think, is it 116 times we've caught players offside now this season? The nearest to us in the league, I think, is Man City. They're on 68. Like, that deserves a lot of credit for me. I don't think we're conceding goals because of the high line. And again, teams are going to break the high line. It's like Virgil. 9 out of 10 players aren't going to be able to dribble past Virgil, but there might be that one. We can't then turn around and say Virgil's not good at one-on-one defending.
No, what you're saying is right, but like, for example, watching it yesterday, Cal, try and watch it back if you can. When I can't remember which chance it was, if it was the Lanzini chance or one of the others. It was in the second half, and there was a moment when Van Dijk had to go across, and as he's going across, Ibu, obviously there's a whole gap in the middle now. And what Ibu should have done is dropped in, because where the player crossed the ball to is actually where Ibu should have gone to, and he would have just been able to clear it. But because we're obsessed with the offside, he didn't even look behind him. He's just watching Virgil and trying to make sure he keeps the line, because we're obsessed with the line. And then by doing that, the West Ham player had oceans of space behind him and the cross was easy. And those little things where I need the in-game intelligence of like, fuck doing it literally to the letter of the law. Klopp's not going to go mad at you if you cover and clear a header. But just being so obsessed with offside, Cal, like we're just like, we're living or dying by it, and we're just hoping opposition don't A, play a good pass, or don't B, finish it. And that for me is too obsessed. We're too obsessed with the offside, bro. Sometimes you just got to fall in, clear your lines, be an old traditional defender for that part, and then go, we got away with one, boys. All right, get the shape back. Like, don't always just be like, offside, let's play it, offside, let's play it. Like, the scenarios change in football. You can't just keep doing that. Do you know what I mean?
I agree with that. One thing I would say, though, that's not necessarily a system problem. That's a game intelligence problem, though, Drift, isn't it? Because again...
Yeah. But I feel like we're not given the freedom to do it. I feel like Klopp's got them so obsessed with it because they're all intelligent footballers. But they're so obsessed with it, Cal. Matip and Van Dijk are not the type of defenders who aren't smart enough to know what to do in a game. But I think they're just so drilled into it, bro.
But if it's working so well, Drift, then it's hard to turn away.
We're getting away with it in terms of it working, if I'm being honest. I'm seeing these chances players are missing, and I'm like, we're really getting away with these chances, you know.
But apart
even
from
the Chelsea game in the final, Cal, look how many chances they had, bro.
No, we had our chance as well, though, Drift.
No, but I mean, in terms of this obsession with the high line, Cal, 3 of them weren't offside, and it was just Mount and Pulisic with poor finishing. We're giving way too many chances away in the game, bro.
No, that I agree with. But at the same time, bro, we got in behind Chelsea and we fluffed our lines as well, bro. So, again, we're playing Chelsea, who, as much as we dislike them, they're probably top 5 best teams in Europe, bro. Like, we are going up against elite opposition. We can't not expect to get any chances given to them.
Like, no, that's true, but like Chelsea, I'm still thinking of Burnley and Norwich, and I'm still thinking, we give chances to everybody, bro.
Norwich game was one chance to Rashika or one chance to Pukki. Then the FA Cup game we write off because that was our B team. Then the Burnley game, bro, if I'm not mistaken, all their chances were offside as well, bro.
No, there were 2 of them weren't, and it was just
good 1 or 2. But this is my point. Have we got to a point, Drift, where we've been so good, so dominant that we're expecting perfection, which is impossible?
No. I don't want us to be perfect, bro. I just think we're tempting fate with how high we play the line and the obsession with it. As I said, like, when there's an opportunity to drop in, we still don't. We'll be like, no, just make sure we've got the line. And it's the obsession with it. Teams have now figured out, right, I'm always going to get a chance if I run in behind. I'm always, because they're so high, I just need to make sure the ball's played right. And you're playing against a team with a Coutinho or a Kevin De Bruyne who knows how to execute them passes on time, and you're really asking for trouble. Do you get what I mean? And that's what worries me. I just think we're playing that high line obsessively. I have no issue with it being a tactic, but every now and again, if you got to switch it up in game a little bit, do it. Like, I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm not really. Well, it scares me, bro.
No, I know.
I'm not gonna lie.
For me, I get where you're coming from. It's high risk, high reward, isn't it? So it's like, how can I put this in? I think the benefits of a high line outweigh the cons. So I'm good with it because it allows you to be higher up the pitch. It allows you to win the ball higher up the pitch. It allows their team to be able to do less with the ball because they're either going to hit the long ball or try and play out. Many teams can't play out against us. I think, but again, I do agree. I don't want us to get to a point where it's arrogance either. I think you have to take it on a game-by-game basis. I don't think you can play a high line or as high a line against the Manchester City, for example. But then again, I don't think we would because Man City's build-up play is different to many other teams. Who have Man City really got that's going to run in behind that plays regularly? Only really Sterling in that front line. Foden doesn't really run in behind. Grealish don't really run in behind. Their players don't
might
do
for that game, Cal. They might be smart enough to figure out that's the game plan for that game, isn't it?
They could. You're right. They could. But it's very rare you come up against teams that are able to, 1, do it regularly or 2, execute it regularly without getting stung the other way as well. So I get your concern. I do. I don't want you to think I don't. It's just I'm all right with it because it usually works. Or should I say 9 times out of 10 it works. So
I think we should figure out a way to change the tactic during the game that when we're too tired to press, which naturally happens after about 45 minutes to an hour, we're still not doing this high line and the front players aren't pressing. Because remember, as you said, we suffocate by doing what we're doing and pushing up. But if the players are tired and can't do that anymore, a long ball is still a very easy ball. So the front players in the midfield aren't pressing because they're tired, because it's late in the game, but we're still way up the fucking pitch. And an easy ball over the top. West Ham, it all happened in the last half an hour of the game. All of them chances West Ham got. Because we're knackered, we can't press naturally, and they've got all that space still behind where we're all high up the pitch. There has to be a way for once the players get a bit more tired, we drop back a bit. You know what I mean? We got to try and figure out a way to not be so exposed. But I'm not Klopp, so I'm not trying to tell him what to do. It just worries me a lot.
No, I hear that. Just going back full circle to the topic though, fully fit squad. Out of all the players who have just come back from injury, who do you think is going to be the most key for the rest of the season if we are going to be successful for the rest of the season?
Thiago, without question, and 20 in all comps. I still think players coming off the bench is going to be really important if we're going to fight for all three competitions. For example, Nottingham Forest, if they do get through, that'll be a difficult game in the quarterfinal with the FA Cup. But that's the type of game where I'd love to see a Firmino try and get back his suave. Do you know what I'm saying? Playing with Minamino and Origi and the likes, and try and get him some confidence. Maybe go 4-2-3-1. Put Bobby in the 10 for that game. Let him get a bit of swagger back. But yeah, Thiago without doubt will be the most important one. I mean, and Matip. I know he was out for one game through illness, but he missed a game, so I'll still count him as one of the important ones who's back.
Yeah.
But yeah, Thiago. Well, we play so different with Thiago. It's not even a joke. We control games, and it's intimidation. I think Thiago isn't imposing like with the way a Virgil or Ibu is, but I think he's intimidating in terms of the opposition know just how great he is, and they just think, fucking hell, with him playing, as soon as he gets the ball, bloody hell, we got to worry about it, innit? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah.
I'll be honest, I think Matip might be the most key, you know? Like, not even from a defensive standpoint, from an attacking standpoint, I feel as though we're a better team when Matip plays as well. Set pieces, he's not clinical from set pieces, but he seems to know how to time his runs better than Gomez and Konate.
True.
But again, his passing from the back and his dribbling out from the back, it gives us another dimension. I'm not saying he has to do every game. He has to become, I know we joke about it, say he's a false 4, false 6 and false 10, but he adds a new dimension to our attack when he plays because he's that spare man. It's like, you play down Power League. Like I'm the last man at Power League when I usually play down there. And you see when I go up into attack, opposition, you just overflood their team. Even you remember Masters football, which they're bringing back.
Yeah.
I used to watch Masters football religiously, and again, Liverpool were pretty successful at that. We were one of the only few teams in Masters football that would have all 5 players in the opposition half. Because one player has to stay in the other half for the whole game. Yeah. We were the only teams that played 5, so the risk is there. But it turns out that we ended up winning a lot of those competitions because you just overwhelm the opposition. So
yeah, I hear that. I mean, if we could wave a magic wand over Thiago and be guaranteed like 35 games in the league a season, it would definitely up my confidence by about 15-20% on how much we would accomplish. Because if he's playing every single week, learning the rhythms of all the players and getting that complete, rhythm himself, so to speak, yeah, it'd be different, innit? It'd just be different.
Yeah, I'm going to go one better, Drift. The magic wand, I get, but it wouldn't bother me if we had someone else who was able to do the controlling stuff. And it doesn't, again, we're not expecting it to be someone else as good as Thiago. That's impossible. He's one of the best in the world.
Never, bro.
I'm going to be real with you. If Kate is able to have games like he did against West Ham, he's going to shut a lot of people up, including myself, because he could be that player that we've already got who can do it. But again, it's consistency is
in a different way, though. He doesn't control games the way Thiago does.
I think he has the potential to, though, Drift.
I don't think his passing range is good enough to do it the way Thiago does.
That's fair. But whose passing range is, though, bro?
I know, and that's why he's such a unicorn. Literally, he's a unicorn, bro.
Apart from Trent, De Bruyne, off the top of my head, I can't really think of anyone else in the league who's got that passing range, bro. So it's a tough ask.
ironically, from all the abuse he gets, the only one who plays some of those type of balls in our team is Henderson. Every now and again, he'll pull off one of those Thiago passes. And you know what I mean?
I feel like he's doing it less now, though. Not a criticism on him. I feel he's doing it less than he was last season, though. That might be a change of how we're playing as well, though.
Maybe. He still had quite a few brilliant ones this season. Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying, ironically, he's the one people say he can't pass, but he's the one who every now and again will do one of those beautiful 40-yard slide balls that Thiago's so famous for. Do you know what I mean?
Very true.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's funny. Naby is playing well, but not even doing what he's good at, which is so weird. Like it's dribbling and taking people on is what he's doing, and that's not even what he's doing when he's playing well. It's tackling and intercepting, and it's really weird. I don't know. It's so weird. I don't know what's going on.
It's the inconsistency for me. It is the inconsistency. I'm going to get through some super chats. We're going to the next topic. But guys, don't forget to smash the like button. We've got over 500 of you in here. Appreciate that. Please do smash the like button, please, people. Pete Al says, Cal, I didn't get to watch the full video on the football terrace, but from what I saw, I was disappointed. I never heard you say Curtis or Konate. Curtis's levels with Gallagher. Okay, so Pete, the reason why I didn't mention Konate or Curtis is Konate for a start hasn't even had a full season in the Prem, so I think that'd be an early shout. In the same way, I don't call Sancho a flop because he's not had a full season in the Prem. And for me, Curtis Jones hasn't shown his levels with Gallagher because Gallagher's been playing regular football and Curtis Jones hasn't, because we've got better depth, but because he's also had and been unlucky with injuries. So that's why I didn't mention those two in the whole best young player in the league or top young player in the league debate, simply because they haven't had the time. I didn't mention Harvey Elliott either because unfortunately got that ankle injury at the beginning of the season. So, but I think you should all know how much I rate these players. Like, I go for Curtis Jones and Konate. Like, we don't trade him for anyone. So, but that's the reason why I didn't add those players in there. Kadir says, Cal, I'm glad Coutinho has at least put a smile on your face at FPL. Coutinho! Gotta do what you gotta do in this.
Did you see his game against Villa, Cal? Sorry, did you see his game for Villa the other day?
Yeah, he's wasting bare chances and that, isn't it? Bob, I'm joking.
No, I know you are, but I'll tell you how good this kid is, real talk. The Aston Villa fans are actually in admittance he's the best player they've ever seen, especially anyone who's like, you know, under, say, 50 or under 40. Like, I saw one guy who even said, I think he said he's like in his 60s, and he can actually comfortably say, live in the flesh at the game, Coutinho was the best player he's ever seen play at Villa Park for Aston Villa. And like ability-wise, bro, for that to be how much of a mark he's already made on Villa in 2 months, bro, it shows you that they already like in agreement. Like, you know, we loved Grealish. He was our boy. Coutinho was another level to Grealish. And this is a guy who's the one of their own. And then after 2 months, even they're like, no, what this kid does with the ball is just a joke. It's ridiculous. Bro, he would have still offered us so much, man. He really would have, man. I really, really think, even if it was on loan, we've really missed the boat not bringing Coutinho in, man. We just have, but
he's not our player, though, isn't it? And he doesn't regret the move into Barcelona. So, hey, ho, we're here now, innit? The Beery says, I'm going to take my FSG boots off supporters' neck. If you know, you know. Don't want the man them coming for me in 2030 when Mr. Quad/Invincibles league. We hear you, Zabiri. Big up Zabiri as well. Rude Boy LFC says, Cal and Drift, if you had a choice between KDB and Salah, knowing how their future would turn out, who would you keep and who would you sell during their days at Chelsea? Oh, that's a great question.
Right, so if I was Mourinho and I could go into the future and know what actually happened,
Salah.
I'll go Mo still. Mo.
Yeah, they're struggling for goals right now. I know the game at the weekend was for 4-0, but on the whole, Chelsea, that's been their struggle this season, is getting goals. Salah changes that for them.
And not only that, and again, I always love saying things that I know is going to get the people rattled. De Bruyne is absolute quality. There's no doubt about it. But I really am starting to believe he is a bit of a purple patch player still. I don't feel like he's consistently great across the whole season. I feel like he dips in and out, and when he's in, he plays so brilliantly, it almost hides when he's out. And because his team normally win as well, it's not as easy to notice it, or it doesn't matter as much. Like I always think a poor performance matters when your team ain't winning, and if your team's winning, you can kind of get away with it. So I'm just saying, Kevin De Bruyne is a little bit overhyped, just a little bit. I do believe he's a little bit overhyped. He's not the best midfielder in the world, and I hear people saying that he's not the best midfielder in the world. But again, he is quality.
I respectfully disagree, Drift. Respectfully.
That's fair.
Ash says if he signs Zabiri, you need to get one of those boys in the J Dub head, just so the J Dub shirt with a Cuban. Do you know what's jokes? I'm loving how Zabiri's now become the mouthpiece of MSG.
Yeah, no, and Jamrock must be thinking, "Thank God you took my spot," because everyone thought it was Jamrock.
Jamrock's still behind the scenes though. Jamrock's the one doing the books.
Yeah.
You know, like you got Dana White and then you got Sean Shelby. Like Zabiri's Dana White and then Sean Shelby's Jamrock. Like Jamrock's the one matchmaking. Zabiri's the one who's out in the public.
Yeah. I can imagine Zabiri doing a press conference as well. It'll get out of hand. It will get out of hand.
I would pay good money to see Zabiri do a press conference.
He probably would actually just be like Dana. You know, Dana ain't afraid to just tell someone to shut the fuck up. Like, if he's got to do it, he will do it, innit? Like,
Zabiri would be worse. I've had conversations with Zabiri on the phone, but he'd be worse. He'd be absolutely worse. Thiago says, our Cow and Drift wear matching V-necks. We are, coincidentally, yes. It wasn't planned. We're not throwing up Boys to Men and Joe to see in that. It wasn't
but I think we've got different like tops on. Obviously, mine is
hello. Mine's not that. Still, mine's not that. I had to change my top before my last stream because Robbie decided to get yogurt on me. So that's the way it goes. Mr. Dare I say it, Drifty says the most important question in this quad run is how do we manage Trent's minutes after the international break, which is after the FA Cup game? Fantastic question. Milner and Gomez, unfortunately for Gomez, but Milner and Gomez.
Yeah, and it's that really tricky thing where you think to yourself, what kind of game can you not, because we don't have one single game, without disrespect, other than the quarterfinal with the FA Cup where we are overwhelmingly the better team. We don't have a game now where you can just go, yeah, we can risk it in this one, because if you lot all want the quad, there is no such thing from now to the end of the season as a game that's not important. So where do you rest him? It's going to be very tricky. Very tricky.
Agreed. Zabiri says, Cal, the high line is to complement the high press / squeeze. The trade-off is risking offside spacing behind. Our squeeze don't work if defense drops off. I agree. Ash says 4 goals conceded in 15 games. I think now offside is obviously deliberate. Look at our XG. It's spot on. Drifty, you need to delete the offside chance from your brain. They don't even count as attempts. I think that is another thing that irks you a little bit as well, Drift. The fact that the game is allowed to play out, and then once everyone's had to do a mad scramble, they blow the whistle and the linesman stands there with his silly little flag when he could have raised it 20 seconds earlier.
And it's also very confusing to the players as well. And don't get me wrong, Ash, I'm not the ones that are offside aren't the ones I'm thinking about. They are the ones that they weren't offside. Like, I'm not thinking about the ones they weren't. But they even talked to Trent after the game, and Trent was like, I saw it afterwards and I realized he wasn't offside. So I apologized to the linesman because I did have a go at him because I thought it was. But he actually kind of stopped because he thought it was, and then realized, no, let me just make sure. And them little things there, yeah, you can get injuries doing that, and it causes confusion. And I just don't like anything about it.
Yeah. Okezi says 2 games, all lost all season is not lucky, Drifty. Drifty's not trying to get on the... Sorry, Drift, let me tell you this. Drifty's not trying to say we're not good, you know, guys. He just, like, he has a concern about a certain thing. In the same way, I had a concern about Gomez playing right back, not because I think he's poor there, but just because it's not his best position. It's just a concern. Believe me, Drifty's on board. He's not saying it, but he knows we're getting a quad. He's on board.
And those same people, if we have a game where we do get caught out, then they'll like. I don't want you to realize where I'm coming from when it's too late. You know them ones, like kind of realize it before. You know what I mean?
Promo says, I don't mind the high line. It's the offside trap for me. That's a good point as well. Because you can have a high line and drop off steadily when you're being attacked.
And that's what I'm saying. But I think you only play the high line because you're playing the offside trap. It's very rarely you play a high line and you're not playing the offside trap. Otherwise, you're just making more work for yourself all game, innit?
Yeah, true. Ash says Zabiri is J-Dub, Jamrock is Edwards. Well, Julian Ward now. Nito says, let's be real, Coutinho scorching that game for Gerrard was sweet. Especially listen to Villa podcasters gushing over the kid. Yeah, congrats to him and let him continue, man. He's building up my FPL points. He's gonna take points off City on the last game. That's the part
that gets me, bro. I looked at the teams on the Saturday, yeah, and you was like, you only had like 20 points. Matt only had like 20-something points. And I had like 60 points, and I was like, this is beautiful. I can catch up this week. And then Coutinho throws up that. I see you both got him as your captain. I'm like, the fucking cheek of it. The absolute cheek of it. The man dropped you like 30 points each just on his own. I'm like, the absolute cheek of it. And I thought I'd had a worldie this week by making
my FPL captain.
I went for a little tactical one to try and catch up, and I made Ryan Fraser my captain this week, and he dropped me 28 points. Yeah, he dropped me 28 points, and the gamble worked off. But then you lot got the Coutinho luck, and now it didn't even matter anyway. I'm like, for fuck's sake, man.
I've also got Bernardo Silva in my squad, I think, as well. And you know how I feel about him. So the game is the game.
But you would take Bernardo at Liverpool?
No.
Oh, would you not?
Oh, okay. What? No, what? Maybe to rush him.
I thought you.
Maybe to rush him. It'd be a setup. Obi Trice, but no. Like, no. His talent. Yes, I'll take his talent, but not him. Goodness, no. Despise that brother. Dislike him more than I dislike Coutinho in them, man.
No, I knew you hated him, but I thought for the sake of football that maybe you would take him to win.
No, bruv. No. Bernardo. No, sir, not me.
Yeah. First day of training, Bernardo's injured. You mean rushed?
You're like, Cal, why are you missing the Monday show? I gotta go up to Liverpool for work, you know, bro.
No. Just slide tackle him as soon as he gets out of the car.
Bernardo's done way too many things to get away with something like that. Liam Kenny says, Cal, if Coutinho bags the winner versus City on the final day to gift us the Prem, we'll all be forgiven. Yeah. Shamelessly. Yeah. I told you if that happens, if you had I'll wear a Coutinho top. Like, I'll do it. I'll get his name printed on. I'll get his face printed on a shirt. 100%.
I'm glad that Pep didn't think. You know what? What on a quick little cheat. All right, let me just have a look at this Coutinho, brother.
Although I wouldn't be surprised if what this run has done. I don't know if Villa will sign him. I expect him to make a move in the summer now, though. I think teams will be confident to make a move.
I've got a feeling that knowing the mistakes he's made in the past, he might be smart enough to actually let Gerrard keep him at Villa, but just maybe put a clause in it so he's not allowed bogged down and can't move if he gets better or whatever. But I think at his age, 28, 29, he might be smart enough to say, do you know what, Stevie? I'll stay here as long as you are. Because that big move, maybe he's realised he's played for Bayern and Barca and realised the big club doesn't always help. You know what I mean? Things can go wrong there. Maybe he's enjoying being the man again. I could be wrong, but if you make mistakes, it'll be stupid if you continue to make the same mistakes. Do you know what I mean?
It would be. It would be indeed. Right, next topic. Your boy Drift. Used to wear number 10. It's coincidental. These ex-number 10s at Liverpool keep on doing mad stuff, but cool. Michael Owen's come out today and he's rattled a lot of the fan base because it seems as though Salah's getting a new contract, according to him.
He didn't actually mention Mo's name, though. He said he's heard something's been done and we've done what we always do and we jumped to a conclusion. Maybe it's Mane. Maybe Mane's contract's done. Maybe he's heard Klopp's extending. Maybe Klopp's about to announce an extra 2 years. We don't know. And before you start going in on Owen, just remember when he scored that goal against Arsenal in the FA Cup to win us the treble. Try and remember the good times. Don't think of the Michael Owen you hate because he left. Remember the good Michael Owen. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've moved on from him. But it's the same with Coutinho. I don't want him to be involved in the club anymore. Or, like, it's just, you've had your time. You gave us great memories. You also gave us bad memories. The bad memories came later than the good memories. So we'll say our goodbyes. And if we see each other on the street, it'll be, oh, how you doing? How's life? Oh, is that your little one? Oh, brilliant. Take care. See you around. But that's it. We're not exchanging snaps and WhatsApps and
like... All right, let me ask you this. You see Coutinho. If Coutinho had left in a normal way and hadn't kicked up the stink that he had, but he did make it clear Barcelona was his dream move and he was going to go. A little bit like Ronaldo did at Man United, where he still took liberties, but he didn't do it as Rago. You would have been okay with him coming back. It was literally because...
But I'd have driven to flipping Liverpool and beg Klopp like in person.
Okay. So it was the faking the injury part. That's the bit that. Okay.
Yeah. It was all that stuff. Oh, 100%, bro. But I'll take Xabi Alonso back in a heartbeat when he left. He didn't do us dirty.
No, but he didn't even. He was kind of forced out. That wasn't even on him.
But that's my point. Like, if you leave us in an amicable way because you want to chase a dream, you go for it. You only live life once, but there's a way to do it. Like, I've got a job now. If Liverpool came knocking and was like, Cal, we want you to do this. We want you to be head presenter for Liverpool. But I can't just not show up for my 9 to 5, bruv, and be like, don't feel like coming in today, or keep on calling sick, pretending to be sick, and then they see me on telly. Like, you leave on bad terms. But if I sit them down and I say, guys, you know what? I've loved working here. I really appreciate what you've done for me. This is my dream. Can you allow me to go and chase my dream, please? Here's my notice. Like, I'll give you an extra week maybe because, you know, you gave me a chance. I'll give you an extra week. There's all my handover notes for the next person. I know I can go back to that job one day. But if I just call up and like, yeah, I'm not feeling too well. What's wrong? I'm ill. Hang up. then they switch on the telly and see me doing up stuff at Anfield. Like, hi guys, I'm over at Anfield. Thanks for joining us on LFC TV. Everyone's gonna be like, "Bro, what's going on here?"
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Fuck your job. I need you to holler at me and let me know what's going on. Bro. Like, I don't care about your day. I don't care about the day job.
But this is what I mean, Drift. Look at your reaction just then, bro. Imagine, Drift. I called you 5 minutes before we were meant to go live, and I was like, Drift, I'm not feeling well, bro. And you're like, oh, what's wrong? I'm under the weather, man. You'd be like, all right, Cal, rest up. But then, but it wouldn't even be you switching on the TV. It'd be people in the comments, bro. Cal's on LFC TV. You'd be like, what? Cal's ill. They're like, no. They'll just start sending you the photos on Insta, Twitter.
It must be Dembele.
Bro, I guarantee you I wouldn't get through that show without you being at my house, bro. Sitting on my couch when I come back from Liverpool, bro. Just, all in black like you were behind the scenes the other day before we did a live, bro. You remember that, Drew?
Yeah, I'd just be bouncing Robbie on my lap. Like, what? Daddy's home.
Like, what are you doing here, Drift? Oh, how come you're only getting home, bro?
I bought you soup, big man. I thought you was going to be in bed.
Yeah, no. Here's your lemsip. Here's your lemsip, bro. Sit down. We need to talk. Matt's just guarding the door as well, bro. Nah, you lot would go off, and rightly so, bro. Rightly so.
No, I get it.
Salah. Is he getting his new contract before the end? No, I'm not going to lie. If I caught you drinking my apple juice, we're probably going to have a fight.
But if you wouldn't catch me drinking it, it'd already be finished. It would just be empty on the side.
I'd get home, bro. I'm not going to lie. You bouncing Robbie in your lap would be like, rah, Drift, that's one thing. But rah, all the empty apple juice containers, what? You just pour these down the sink, yeah? Like,
Imagine it's just playing on the loop on the TV. Matt filming me just pouring them down the sink. Where the fuck is it? Yeah, no, that would be hilarious.
Do we think Salah gets a new? Do we think he gets a
bro?
new
What if
contract?
it's Millie?
Owen's not going to release a tweet about Millie, bro. I love Millie, but he's not going to surely.
Well, what if it's Naby? What if it's Bobby? Yo, there's loads of people who need contracts at Liverpool, you know.
I hear that, but
what if it's Carvalho? What if they're going to confirm the Carvalho deal? Like, it could be anything, bro.
I hear you. I genuinely don't see us doing any contract extensions until the end of the season. It's kind of our thing, isn't it?
Are we not jumping to conclusions, though? As a fan base, I mean, to think like any news and it's Mo. Like, are we not jumping to conclusions? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we are.
I think it's what we want, which is why we're hoping that that's what the news is going to be. I think we should just wait. I think we're going to cause our own. We're going to cause our own hurt if it isn't Mo. You know what I mean? I would be. Obviously, I want Mo to stay, by a shadow of a doubt. But I would be just as happy if I found out it was Klopp extending or if it was Mane extending. So
I'm not gonna lie. After what Klopp said in his last interview,
yeah, but I hope he's throwing us a curveball to stop the rumors so he can do it in his own time.
I hope so as well. But yeah, I agree with you, Drift. I think we just gotta wait and see. I still think Salah gets a new contract, even though I'm a little nervous. I still think he gets a new contract, though.
I'm worried, bro. I've watched Pogba. I've watched Mbappe. I watched Messi. I watched some really highest of the highest profile names walk away for free and do things on their own terms. And that's what worries me about Mo. That is what worries me about Mo. So, yeah. Let's just see. Let's see.
Fingers crossed it won't get to that. Next topic. The front three. Now, if you guys, obviously it's mainly for everyone in the UK, but if you guys watched the match of the day, Ian Wright was kind of speaking about the front three, and he wasn't criticizing them and saying obviously they're overrated or anything. He obviously rates the front three as any top pundit does.
Big up Uncle Wrighty for touching
Uncle
the Liverpool
Wrighty
as well. Uncle Wrighty touching the Liverpool side.
Yeah.
Back in the team.
Yeah. Big up Uncle Wrighty as always.
He's secretly a Liverpool fan, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're trying to get him on board. Board. Might even send him a Kopish t-shirt as well. Who knows? But he did raise some good points in that. There were times in that game where, and again, I say front three, Jota came off the bench and did the same thing, where all four of them had opportunities where they could have put a pass in, which would have given us a better chance to score. But, and I'm going to say the word, but greediness stopped them from doing it. And doing that on a regular basis could really hamper us going forward. Now, again, it is one game where it's mainly happened, but it has happened in other games. We've seen it happen in other games where we still might win, but you look back and you're like, why didn't he just play the pass there? Why didn't he play him in? And again, this isn't a Firmino agenda. This is more of a, do we need one of our players in the front three to be more of the creator or less of the goal getter than the other two? Because we've seen it work with Mane, Salah, Firmino, where they're the two goal getters. Mane, Jota, and Salah, when they were playing together, if you notice, Mane stopped scoring as many goals. That was a period where Jota and Salah were getting the goals. Mane's really started scoring goals when Jota came out of the team and Diaz came in. But Diaz is now starting to settle in and show that he's becoming more of a goal scorer as well as a creator. If we are to go forward with this front three, or if we're to get another attacker, doesn't need to have to be someone who's less goal orientated and more thoughtful, for lack of a better term, Drift.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, as a lot of people have been saying, this is why Bobby is so important, because he was always the one who was the least greedy. But some of the chances we created wouldn't have been in a Bobby situation. That it was the winger being greedy with the ball on the wing. So even if Bobby was playing, they may have still been greedy with that chance. I think what happened in the West Ham game a lot, bro, is Mo probably more guilty of it than others.
It
I
was.
think the frustration of trying to get the second goal overtook the players in the second half, and then they just went goal chasing rather than letting the game play naturally. Because I think the two big ones was the chance when Mo should have back heeled it to Diaz, who'd made the overlap, but instead he turned and had the shot, and it was a really weak shot. And then there was a time, do you remember when you had to quickly go and do something with Little Man? And when you come back, I was like, yeah, Salah had another shot, bro, and he shouldn't have. I think those are the two when he really should have passed. But
So,
Diaz had a chance when he should have passed.
Jota as well when he came, when he had a left-footed shot when there was literally a straight path to Diaz there. I think Diaz had a shot. Mane had one later on in the game as well where I think he shot with his left or right foot. It would either be his left or his right foot, obviously. But there was one time when Mane did it as well. Yeah, when he had a shot, he was more central. When he had his shot, Salah was the most guilty in that game.
Yeah, I think, and it was because he didn't score in the first chance he had, and he just wanted to make up for it. You can always tell when Mo misses a gilt-edged chance. If he hasn't got a goal in the game, he wants to make up for it. And I think that was what made him get hooked. I think Klopp realised it. We all realised it while we were watching. He's just not playing well today. But you know what?
Ty said you mean like Coutinho, Cal. Well, Coutinho's technically a midfielder, so he wouldn't be playing in our front three anymore. But I see what you're trying to do there, Ty. I see what you're trying to do.
He may have played on the left of our three, but anyway. I just feel like it's okay for them to do that to a degree, but don't do it all the time. I don't mind you mixing and blending between greed and not. It makes you unpredictable as well. And to be fair, sometimes the finishing was better. Like that chance that Mo had and that chance that Jota had, better finishing could have actually still made a goal. It was just poor finishing. So it wasn't just the fact that they should have passed. The shot was crap. Like if you're not going to make the pass, at least make the shot good. So, I mean, the Jota one, do you remember? That was the most handsomely high and wide strike. It was like, Jota, what the fuck was that, bro? Do you know what I mean? You can't do that shot after being greedy. Do you get what I mean? Like, it's got to be a good shot if you're going to do that. But I'm 50-50 on it, Cal. I don't mind him being greedy 50% of the time and passing. Do you know what, bro? It's about in-game intelligence and knowing when and where is the right time to do when and what. Yeah. If the pass is the better option, because we've got to be honest, Bobby's also guilty of having a great opportunity for a shot and looking for a pass. You're like, well, why didn't you just put your foot through that, bro? Yeah. So you've got to make the right call at the right time. I think that's more about in-game intelligence more than if you're being greedy or not.
Yeah. Shall I tell you what it is with me? I personally believe, say, for example, we were 2-0 up in the game and then the forwards want to be greedy. And you know the game, let's say there's 10 minutes left of the game. I could live with it more, but you see a 1-0, for me, you just get the job done. Whoever gets it done, gets it done. Don't, for me, until it's 2-3-0. Could be massive
for all we care about.
Yeah. Until the game's 2-3-0, where the other team can't get back into it, you get the job done no matter who it is, how it's done. And I think that's where the issue is. And again, the reason why I've not said Bobby's because, again, Bobby's form hasn't been good enough over the course of the season for me to be like, Bobby's got to start because this is what Bobby does. Because even when he's played, he's not facilitated like he used to. So, again, it's a tricky one. And it kind of begs the question that, is it three great players playing together or is it a front three playing great together? Because at the moment, I think it's three great players playing well together as opposed to them playing great as a front three, which again is not a bad thing because we're still winning games, but it could hinder us in a game or two.
And again, I think we're too. It's part of the way the world is now, isn't it? Where we just got everything on demand. Like I remember the days where if you bought an album, you rinsed that album for 6 months. Now I don't even know if people even listen to albums. They just fling it in, fling it out. Because we're just on to the next one. we're too on to the next one, isn't it? Like Jay-Z said. I think we've got to have a bit of patience with the fact that our front line is completely different as well. Only Mo's playing where he's used to.
Yeah.
Mane's trying to adapt to a new role in the middle and Diaz just got it. So I think it's a whole combination of a lot of things and we're just like, everything's just meant to Jill. That's us just always wanting the best You know what I mean, Cal? Like, we've got to give them a chance, man. Mane took about 3 or 4 months to get used to playing on the left when he got moved from the right when Mo came in. And then once he got used to it, he was absolutely devastating. He's even better than he was from the right. Diaz just got here. There's so many variables, but we don't have time to wait, which is the problem because we're trying to win everything, right? But we're still winning while it's happening. You know what I mean? Like, I've heard people complaining about Mane in the false nine, and you're allowed your opinion. But then I ask you, 4 goals and assists in 4 games. I mean, what more do you want from a player playing up front? Like, come on, man. I think as a fan base in general, we are being really harsh with our demands. Like, really, really harsh on our demands. We're just like, I want perfection or get the fuck off the pitch.
But you know why that is, Drift? Not to make excuses for myself and other fans like that. It's because we're so close to perfection. That's what's crazy. We are actually...
Yeah, I hear that.
Like, think about it, Drift. 2 defeats in the league all season, and we're in March. That's crazy, bro. Like,
I hear that.
This is levels we ain't ever seen in the Prem between Man City and Liverpool. And it's been like this for a while. 97 points, you don't win the league, bro. That's almost as perfect as it gets. 99 points, you win the league. But what were we saying? Right, if we didn't draw that Burnley game, we would have got 100 and something points. We would have got 101 points. Last season, obviously, we write off. This season, any other team, we're clear at the top of the league right now.
No, you're right. Maybe I'm being biased. Maybe I'm being biased when I say this. And I think nostalgia will play a big part, which is why people will probably disagree with me. But I think only the hatred between the 2 clubs makes that Arsenal-Man United rivalry back in the late 90s, early 2000s feel better than the rivalry we have with Man City right now, because we don't hate each other because there's no hatred between the two, especially with City not having much history and whatnot. And that's not even me being shady. But if you actually deep the last 4 seasons and how deep and how close and how high the levels have had to have been for whoever eventually wins the league, with the exception of last season, which was a fucking anomaly. I think the Man City-Liverpool rivalry is the best rivalry the Premier League's ever had. It's a madness, bro. 97 and 98, then we win it the way we win it, overcoming the odds of overcoming the Man City team that's absolutely unbelievable. They won it with 100 points before that. Then they come back and win it like when we're bad. Now we're battling them again. The games against the 2 teams are always barnstormers. There's never a boring Man City-Liverpool game, ever.
Even the 0-0 was entertaining.
Yeah, even 0-0s are entertaining. Like, I think maybe nostalgia and the hatred makes you feel like that Arsenal-Man U rivalry was better. But
the games were good, though.
And for me, and again, I'll admit maybe I'm being biased as well because I'm involved in this one and I wasn't involved in that one. But I mean, the levels these 2 teams are going at it is crazy. It's absolutely crazy the level these 2 are going at it. And I think even Klopp said the other day, if it wasn't for Liverpool, Man City would already be champions, and it's true. We're the only ones without anywhere near the budget that have allowed this league to be competitive for the last 4 seasons.
Well, Drift, last season, Man City had the league wrapped up from like February when they beat us, coincidentally. That was when it was like, it's done for the league. That was like February.
Yeah.
The season where they won 100 points, when we weren't competing for the league, we were competing for top 4. By February, it was done. We're the only ones giving them a challenge at the moment, and it says a lot.
It's why I do hate them now. I do hate them now, because they're the reason we don't have 4 Premier Leagues, including if we'd won this year.
13, 14,
18, 19, and now. It'd be 4. We'd have 4 Premier Leagues if it wasn't for Man City. So I do hate them now. I genuinely do. You know what I mean? It's
agreed. Before we go into FPL Drift, people have been asking, so I think we could give it 5 minutes. We've obviously not spoken at length. Got your WhatsApp this morning about it.
Your lack of response led me to believe you agree with me.
The people are asking your opinion on it, Drift. Masvidal.
I have to unfortunately say there's too many miles on the clock for Masvidal. I think people underestimate as well that being 3 years younger in a fighting sense is quite a big deal as well. Colby's still got that little bit of his peak left, whereas Masvidal is coming to that point as a fighter. When you're 36, 37 as a fighter, you've got to start considering if you're going to keep doing this anymore. And when you don't come through the way a Colby come through, where you do the wrestling thing and you're a bad boy at that and you learn your craft and then you come into mixed martial arts and then you learn the other stuff to go on. When you come from a background of no rules, no feds, no nothing, and just thumping man up in the back garden and just being a street thug and just having the most amount of crazy things in your life, you got a lot of miles on your clock. There's a reason why when you play the UFC game, it says longevity at the top and there's a little bar. And every time you have a fight that gets a bit hectic, it knocks some of that off because you've only got a certain amount of fights in you when you're that type of fighter. Only a Floyd can go into the late 40s of how many fights he's had and still be cool. You see it with Overeem, absolutely sensational fighter. He got to the laters. How many is it? 53 fights Overeem's had? Bro, that's about 13 too many, bro. There's only a certain amount of fights you can have. And I just think Masvidal's had one too many fights. I think if you looked at that fight, he looked stiff. He didn't look like, that's not Masvidal. And I'd rather just not watch him, if I'm being completely honest. That wasn't Masvidal. He wasn't explosive. He wasn't, even his scrambling wasn't that good. Normally, he's brilliant at scrambling. Like, I've watched him have grappling matches, and he's brilliant at grappling, where there's no punches and kicks and stuff. It's just about fighting for position and whatnot. He's brilliant at it, bro. He's not himself anymore. He's really not. And I'm not even making excuses for him. So I just, when you can just, it's like Woodley, bro. I knew after the Usman fight, it was the beginning of the end for Woodley. And I think after the Usman fight, ironically, with Masvidal, I started realizing it's the beginning of the end. And I think it's time that maybe Masvidal steps away because I don't want to see him go down the Woodley thing. Because when you're a legend like that and you're a top class fighter, I don't want you to end up like Woodley. Woodley is a sensational fighter who looks like an idiot now because of the last 2 or 3 years of his career. Anybody who only knows Woodley now is going to laugh their ass off. You lot don't understand how fucking good peak Woodley was. Yeah. Like, he was amazing. I don't want Masvidal to go down that road now chasing money. So fair play to Colby. I can't fucking stand him. But he did what he knew would win him the fight, wrestling.
So I agree with some of what you said, Drift. In terms of miles on the clock, yes. And even the age thing for me is not a problem either, because you say 3 years between the two, but you look at the amount of fights they both had and how long they've both been in the sport. So it's like Aldo is only, 32 or something like that? But Aldo's an old 32. He's been through wars.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, either call it age or miles on the clock, innit? Whichever one you want.
For me, it's more miles on the clock. Yeah. I don't think we should write him off because Colby is just that good of a fighter that Colby does that to pretty much everyone in the division apart from Usman. So it's difficult to write him off after that fight. And for me to say he's done because he's lost to 1 and 2 in the world in his weight class is harsh. It would be the same as saying a football team's done for losing to Liverpool and Man City consecutive games. It's just one of those things. You've come up against the 2 elites in the division. And
remember, we did think that about Woodley though, and then
I agree.
And then you're like, oh, it's not just he lost to the best. It's like, he's just not.
No, I agree. Anymore. I agree. For me though, Masvidal. Here's the thing: Masvidal isn't going anywhere soon because he just signed a new multi-fight deal.
We're then let him have fun fights now. No more belt fights, no more elite level fights. Let's have fun fights now.
You took the words out of my mouth. I want to see Masvidal in with your likes of your Diaz's, and Connor's never going to take that fight. But someone like that, someone where it's a fun fight, it's an occasion fight. It's not I've got to take on 2nd rank or 3rd rank, because those fighters are going to come into it with a game plan. Again, let's be honest. Even though Colby won every round pretty much, maybe apart from one of the rounds, Masvidal still dropped him.
And if he had the stamina, he could have finished him.
But again, who else finishes Colby? Who else can deal with Colby's stamina? And only Usman. Only Usman. Everyone else has been drowned out. Like RDA, we saw what RDA did at the weekend, bro. Bro, Colby drug RDA into deep waters and drowned him, bro.
Oh, do you know what, bro? I think there's one other dude, you know? I think there's one other dude.
Hamzat, yeah, Hamzat.
Oh, no, not even Hamzat, bro. It's the diamond, bro.
Got Poirier.
Bro, I think Colby calling out Poirier was a wonderful thing. Everybody always underestimates Poirier. They always underestimate Poirier, bro. I think Poirier could. Bro, I watched the way Poirier was good with the Khabib fight. I know it'd be a different weight class, but I watched how good he was in that Khabib fight. Khabib is on another level to Colby in terms of how he drowns you.
I disagree.
No, bro. In terms of that suffocating feeling, Colby ain't like that. Colby's good, but he's not suffocating. And Poirier dealt with Khabib quite well. I think Poirier is a good matchup against Thingy. I do. I think it's a good matchup.
But if you look at Colby, one thing I have to give credit to Colby for, Colby's very smart in who and how he picks his fights. There's a reason he's calling out Dustin. There's a reason he's not calling out Hamzat and Gilbert and
Dustin's the
Leon
money
Edwards.
fight, Cal. That's what I think, because Dustin is a star in the sport now. It's a money fight now.
But he also knows he beats him. I
don't know, bruv, you know. I don't know. Dustin's leg kicking is supreme boxing, and his wrestling. I think he's got all the tools to beat Colby. I really do. I think that'll be a brilliant fight.
The fight, when you look at the fights that Dustin's lost, especially in recent years, we scrapped the Conor loss back in, was it 2014? Because that was at 45. Apart from the Michael Johnson knockout at 55, he takes a shot better than he ever has. But at the same time, whenever he's come up against elite grapplers, he struggled. Khabib, apart from when he caught him and got him in the guillotine, he struggled in that fight. And then against Oliveira, once Oliveira got to grips, it was like once he knew he could take Colby down or grapple with him, it was done.
Yeah, but Colby, bro, those two are way better than I
disagree. So here's the thing, yeah. I think Colby is just as good a chain wrestler as Khabib. It's just that Khabib is way more aggressive when he's in a dominant position. So you see how Colby's giving those tippy-tappy punches and he's chasing you around in the grappling exchanges. Khabib ain't doing that. Once Khabib gets you on the ground, Khabib is going to beat your face in or beat your body in. And then he's going to try and get a limb, or he's going to get your neck and he's going to put you to sleep.
And that's what I mean. I think the threat of the threat of the submission from Oliveira especially and Khabib adds that more fear where Colby doesn't have that much of a threat, which is why I say losing to Oliveira or Khabib is more obvious than Colby, because I don't necessarily think you've got to worry as much about that threat of the submission. Bro, Oliveira's submission game is ridiculous, bro. Yeah, Once he's got you, you are like, but I even think Oliveira gives Khabib a run for his money. Like,
so do I. Like, that's the fight.
He is different. So in my opinion, even though I agree with what you're saying, I think the lack of submission worry is why I think Poirier deals with that threat way better, because he's not as worried to be taken down. If you get taken down by Oliveira and Khabib, you know you may not get back up again. That's for me why I think he's a lot more worried. So
let me clear this up, guys. This is where I think fully listen to what me and Drift say when we say stuff. I said he's just as good as chain wrestling as Khabib. I never said anything else. That's like you can't be putting out that narrative with me. Khabib's got better jiu-jitsu. I think Khabib's got better striking than Colby. Even though I think Colby's got more of a variety of striking, I think Khabib's still the better striker, and Khabib's way more aggressive. If we just talk about chain wrestling, I think Colby's just as good, maybe slightly better than Khabib.
And this is another point. Like Enny's saying, Colby's weapons are his conditioning and the pace that he fights at. But that's why I love the Poirier fight, because Poirier's got beautiful conditioning. He is someone who can go the hard 4-5 rounds. Do you get what I mean? Like
Colby.
But I got a feeling he might take Colby out by the third. I genuinely do. Like
Colby,
bro. But I am not underestimating the Diamond. You know I love Diamond anyway, but I used to underestimate him a little bit, bro. Not anymore. Not anymore. The way I saw him take that punishment and get Gaethje out of there, the way I've seen him like dusting up people. Who sets a harder pace? I mean, it's at a different level in terms of the thingy, but like Max, who sets a higher pace than Max, bro? He dealt with that wonderfully well. Like, I can't lie, bro. I always underestimate Diamond, and he comes through it, bro. I really think that Colby thinks he's gonna punch him up, but bruv.
But that's what you just hit the nail on the head, bro. Max came up to his weight,
which is going up. Yeah, that's the match. Yeah,
he'd be going up to Colby's weight. It's different. Yeah. It's different. But no, it was a good card. Someone said earlier, if you watched my watch along, you'd have seen how absolutely furious I was with that fight. I'm not one to hold my emotions in when it comes to that stuff. I get some people will like Colby because they see him as playing a character. I don't mind people playing a character, but when the character gets crossed over, you become the Joker, then you've got to be taken out. So I think Colby's at that stage where
talking about religions and wives. And do you know what? I really hate at the end they got in the way, because like the commentator said, like Masvidal will swing on him if he gets a try. I know it's a cheap shot, but I wish he just got to have that last bang. Because when you act like Colby, you deserve it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll be real. When you start speaking about things like that, it no longer, in my opinion, becomes a cheap shot, because it's fair game. If you want to start talking about stuff like that, you take
wives, kids, religion. You do all that talk. If a man fucks you up, wherever it is, I don't care. It's fair game. You don't talk about stuff like that. Just keep it about fighting. Who are you trying to impress? Why would you do that? You don't talk about wives and religion. Nah, man, Colby needs to get packed in. And I know Usman's done it twice, but I just want someone to just really pack him in, man. Punish him.
Shall I tell you what the message it sends out with Colby as well? It sends out the narrative. So you see your keyboard warriors and people who behind fake aliases, it gives them that motivation. If Colby's doing, I might as well do it. No, then you need to see consequences. That you might be behind the keyboard, but someone gets your IPN or your VPN or whatever it is, you won't be saying that to their face in it. So we need to see something happen, man. But hey, he won at the weekend. Congratulations to him. I hope Masvidal doesn't retire, but I hope he gets more favorable fights.
Yeah, I just want Masvidal in the fun fights now.
Yeah,
I don't. And like I said, Diamond, Cal, trust me, I want Diamond to pack him in. I do get what you mean about him.
I'd love for it to happen. I just don't see it. I don't see it.
Yeah, and Thingy, he packs him in as well, but I don't think he'll take that fight, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think Hamzat. I don't think he takes the Hamzat fight.
Nah, he'll run away from that.
Yeah,
he'll run away from that. I see Darren Till chilling with man in there.
Yeah, I like it. Still, I like it. It just shows how humble Darren Till is, though. It shows how humble he is.
You gotta love Till. Come on, man. You gotta love Till.
Oh, brother, if you want to get better at something, you go and try and seek out the best person to help you get better at it, and he's done it. I rate it, man. Thanks for everyone for listening to UFC Talk. We're back to the football now. Gonna get the Fantasy Premier League. Big up Coutinho again.
Chainsaw, we did the inter preview just before this, bro. So as soon as we come out of this live, check it out, bro. It's already up.
Right. Fantasy Premier League. I've not even checked this myself, so it's going to be very interesting to see how everyone is standing. So I'm going to scroll down. Can you see that drift?
I can, yeah.
All right. So in top place, still Marcus. He's extended the gap. Second place, Mark A. Oh, Bama Boys in third. Poundland FSG. I think that's a massive. That is a massive. 87 points. Really climbed up the ladder there.
Mark A, what are you playing at, bro? Huh? What are you playing at? What are you doing? Who's going to take back your top spot, big man? Or should I say little man?
Canal in fifth place. Not a Sweat FC in sixth. Roughton in seventh. Lockdown FC in eighth. Scoop in ninth.
Oh,
Scoop.
It's your boy.
Scoop.
Oh,
I never thought I'd see the day.
Yeah, that's a hard one to take.
But that's mad. Scoop in ninth. Celta by Michael Edwards in 10th. The Invincibles in 11th. Glendale, AFC Glendale. I don't think I've seen this name before. Up to 12th.
Yeah, he must have jumped in, yeah.
Boss in Puddlefoot. Great name. 13th place. Liam 34 in 14th. And Free Smoke, along with 40-year-old Virgil, in 15th place on 1,797. But the talk of today is Scoop down in 9th. Scoop was top. Scoop was top.
Yeah, you know what? I think it's fitting, even though Matt ain't here. Where are you?
Let's be having ya.
Let's be having ya. Scoop, where are you?
That is mad. That is mad.
Fucking hell. Do you know, in all fairness, I actually hope Scoop's all right because we haven't seen Scoop for a little while.
Yeah, yeah, same. Yeah, I think he is though. To be fair, it's just, but yeah, obviously we hope he's all right.
Even on the Friday shows, I haven't seen Scoop for a little while still. So yeah, hopefully he's all right.
Boy, Scoop. Let's get through some of these super chats. I've already answered this one. Yes, just to reiterate, I'd get a Coutinho t-shirt. A-Spec says Kane is sourcing Everton in the mud. They were born in the mud. It's all right. Everton won the transfer window 3 years in a row. It's calm. They're good. And they got lamps as well.
Rafa's plan is coming along nicely.
Rafa, right, bruv. Forget
get that statue ready if it happens, you know. If Everton go down, get that statue for Rafa ready.
We win the league and Everton go down in the same season.
It couldn't be a better season. It couldn't be a better season. And you sprinkled that with Man U being in the mud as well. Oh my day.
Jay Finn says, as a LFC fan, we need to live with the high line because it's not going anywhere. It's like when Roy was the manager hoping to see attacking football. Right, Roy almost got a point off Arsenal, man. Can't give him too much stick. Right, Hill says if FSG have got anything about them, they will give Klopp whatever he wants this summer. That's the only thing that will make him extend for real.
I agree with that.
It might not even be enough. Klopp he made a promise to his family that that's the time he'd take a sabbatical. It could be a Khabib situation.
But I did hear it. But I did watch an interview and he said in football you always just take year by year. So I don't want to talk about it now. So I think if he said to the family, look, give me 2 more years at Liverpool at the end of that time, and then like I might even go back into management, then maybe they'd be willing to. You know what I mean? Maybe they'd be willing to. Because he said his family adore living in Liverpool and the whole thing. So it's not like they're getting annoyed with it.
I don't know. I'm hoping so. I just don't know. Mr. Dare I Say It Drift says Man United have 14 players going to the last 12 months. They don't
even want to keep any of them anyway.
I was born in the dark. Right here says all 3 were greedy on Saturday. Watch match today. Diaz and Mane got away with it. We were overly harsh on Salah. I can't lie. I don't think we were overly harsh on Salah.
No, Salah was the worst of the 3. That wasn't being harsh. But the other 2 did act greedy. That is true.
Thaim says all I'll say is there's been a lot of chat about Mo. I'm worried for Inter. Oh, I'm not.
No, I think he means that Mo's gonna go on a mad one because everyone.
Yeah. I'm on that way.
It wasn't unjust. Like Mo had a really bad game against West Ham, especially by his own standards. So it was, you know what I mean? Nobody was going in on him for no reason. But you know what? If it makes him murk it up, then so be
even
it.
Better. Pimp in Distress says, did you guys think Jota was a bit sulky off the bench last game? He was first choice number 9, but now Mane seems to have settled him. Thoughts?
Could be some truth in that. Maybe he's a little bit annoyed.
I didn't get that vibe.
I'd have to maybe watch it back. He does seem to be a little bit unsettled in terms of his performances since Mane started playing up front, though.
I think that might be down to him still sort of finding his feet, though, from his injury.
Possibly. I hope it is. I do.
Yeah. A-Spec says, I feel there's a feeling of desperation to score a goal amongst the front 3. Now there's competition for places. You can see it in their decision making. That's a good point.
That is a good point. And guys, I would just like to add as well, we're all guilty of it. These guys do know what we're saying as fans, you know. So if they know we're always moaning about they don't get enough goals, even that might play a part in there when they're trying to like over, you know what I mean? You've got to consider that, man.
Very true. Very true. Where are we? Sorry, Drift. I might actually hold on. My things. Hold on. Khalid says, when's Origi's contract up? Need impact sub at Chelsea.
It'd be a brilliant impact sub for you if he did go.
He ain't going Chelsea though. He's better than that.
Yeah. I want him to go somewhere and be first team now. Newcastle. I genuinely believe Newcastle should come and make him the striker they get before they take that step to the Haalands or whoever in a couple of years they're going to go and try and get. I think Origi would be brilliant up front for Newcastle for a couple of years.
I agree. Whether or not he does it though would be. I don't know if he'd do it. He might
go to Newcastle.
He could do. Newcastle, look, they're going to be staying up now, so.
Yeah. I think he likes the Premier League.
He does.
I think he likes the Premier League.
Ibrahim says, I'm just going to send this super chat to show my love and support for Team Kop-Ish. Big up, Cow and Drift. Hope my G's. Hope you guys and family is all well. Bless you, Ibrahim. Much appreciated.
Big up, bro. Bless, man. Big up.
Messi FC says, smoking that Everton pack has people moving like GT. If Iniesta was in Liverpool, he'd be bamboozled by auction every 2 seconds. Messi FC, you're actually a goat when it comes to these comments. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. The Iniesta stuff is hilarious. I can't even lie.
Zabiri says, scoop in the mud. You know, Mark running out of steam. Hey, Mark, you running out of steam, bro?
Yes, he is. Had all that big chat for me. What are you doing, bro? You're just sitting back and watching while he takes over the world.
P. Al says George is the Mishi of UFC. Nah, don't do him like that, man. He's not the Mishi. No, don't do him like that. That's harsh. Michu, sorry, not the Mishi. Ems A says make a Klopp song. He loves a dance. He will sign.
Yeah, we should have a Klopp tune.
I might try and make one still.
You need to just drop that matted dub as well, bro.
Yeah, for real. Shout out to Chainsaw DH, who's just become a YouTube member. Much appreciated.
Big up.
Much appreciated.
Do you know what? That's a beautiful way for me to segue what I wanted to say to the people. Guys, what we want to do for you members is we want to start giving you the content that you want in the membership. So jump into the members. What's it called again, Cal? The bit where they can leave the comments. Why is my
any of the members' videos or any of in fact, the most recent members' video or like send us a post and tag us on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know, like the common area where we can all talk about the members. Sorry, I've had a brain fart. Anyway, in that area, guys, let us know what you want to talk about, and we'll give you what you want. You're the members. Do you know what I mean? So whatever it is you want to talk about, let us know, and we'll get some of them hit up, man. So you know what I mean. We can have the entertaining conversations you guys want. So let us know, man. You know what I mean? New members video coming soon, and it'll be one of you lot's topics. So let us know.
Indeed. Drift, apart from that, is there anything else you want to say to the people?
Tomorrow, big game. Got to go through to the next round.
Yes. We've got to watch along tomorrow for you guys as well, by the way.
Yeah. And as far as I know, Nottingham Forest in the next round of the FA Cup confirmed. So we know who we're playing in the quarterfinal. Yeah,
we knew who was going through from Friday when you said it.
We did, but Huddersfield took the lead, apparently. They went 1-0 up, so it could have been different. FA Cup, Nottingham Forest, that could be a good one. Could be a good... Two of the biggest teams in England. Yeah. Fuck what you heard. Nottingham Forest are a giant club.
Yeah, they are.
2 Champions Leagues. I said 2 Champions Leagues. How many have Arsenal got? How many have Chelsea got? How many have Tottenham got?
Nada.
How many have City got?
Nada.
Okay, 2 Champions Leagues for Nottingham Forest.
So, none.
So, you know what I mean? And they're playing well. You know what I mean? It's a big one. So, you know what I mean? Let's keep it moving.
Indeed. As always, people, much love, much appreciation. Thanks for everyone who joined us for this show. Thanks for everyone who left a comment, whether it be a super chat or non-super chat. We love you all equally. We appreciate the support. Smash the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Almost on 24k subscribers, guys. Help us get over that line. Even if you have subscribed already, tell a friend, tell a family member. Hell, tell your pet to subscribe. I don't care anymore. Anyone. But until we see you tomorrow, have a great rest of the day or evening. Bless up to you guys. Stay safe. Stay blessed. We are Kopish and we are out, people. Take care.
Peace.